Hello, 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 and welcome to day 25 of our series Money Fear is Real and How You Can Change It. So today's topic is pretty awesome. It's another facet of heart set, which, just as a review, to change your money blocks, you must change them at the three sources, which is mindset, body set, and heart set, because those are the three sources. So, of course, you have to change it there. So today's topic is stop the hot cold money relationship to finally fall in love with money. How's that sound? Sounds good to me. I prepared some fun stuff for us today. So we're going to start off with a review of what is heart set. So heart set it includes love, gratitude, emotions, connection, community, feelings. It includes so many things. So what does that mean? That means things like support, compassion, and community for other people. It means love and connection with basic human needs. They're actually two of our basic human needs. And we need to have those met. So I'm getting a little bit of a glare here. There we go. That's better. And so when our needs are not met, that's when we get money blocks. That's when we have other issues. So we want to make sure that our heart set is open, it's clear, it's flowing, it's moving just the way we need it to move and operating the way we need it to operate. So it's also very much about relationships. So quality time with friends, quality time with loved ones, quality time with yourself, that self-compassion aspect, and also a great relationship with money, like having that hot, steamy relationship that's really a true partnership. That is also part of heart set. You know, really treating money as if it was a good friend. And heart set's also the ability to give and receive. So many women mix up that part about receiving. They think receiving is taking. And if I have more, someone will have less. Or I don't feel comfortable having more. I'm very happy right here in my little cubby hole. And I don't want to actually, get any bigger than that. No, this is good. I'm fine right here with my crackers and water. So we want to make sure we have a balance between giving and receiving. I'm sure we're all super duper givers. No question in that department. We could tone that down a little bit, cool our jets, and really start to get in that reception mode and really align with our femininity, which is receiving. And if men are listening to this, men, you have a feminine and masculine aspects, and so it's important for you to have a balance as well. So we are wired to be in community. That's just the way we are. And by the way, community means common. Who knew? Yes, it's togetherness. It's how we can be together. It's how we can support each other, how we can leverage our resources, how we can even do specializations. In business you hear about, I'm going to do what I do best and what only I can do, my zone of genius, which is fantastic. Then we need other people in our community. Even if the community is our own company, we need other people to help us out, like tech people, like administrative people, like maybe marketing people, branding people. Like we need that whole community to really support us so that we can all thrive together. So the heart set is the connection between the body and the mind. And they're all three so interconnected that when we talk about one, we really are talking about the other two. And when we're working on one, we're working on all three together. So emotions are energy. Emotions being one part of our heart set. So I want to go into our emotions a little bit. So they are our allies. And this is how we feel all the feels in life. Like this is how we connect with people. It's how we relate. It's how we experience. And So we need to have them open and flowing and working with us and for us. The whole intention of emotions is for us to be ourselves. How about that? Whoever thought about that for emotions? So to emote means to move. Literally, if you look it up in the dictionary, that's what it means, to move. And some of the emotions are safety mechanisms for us, like anger or fear. Very much about safety, keeping us alive, keeping us safe, keeping us continuing to do what we're meant to do. Oh, hi, Anne. Welcome, Anne. Hello, hello, hello. We're talking about the heart set and how important that is and all the different aspects of it. Right now we're on the emotion piece, so good timing, Anne. So we're talking about how emotions are our allies, and it's how we feel the feels in life. And it's how we connect. It's how we express. It's how we really get to be ourselves. And to emote means to move. And some of our emotions are safety mechanisms. That means they're there to protect us, like anger, like fear, like even sadness is. Sadness, when we express our sadness, that lets our sadness and grief flow through us. When it gets stuck inside of us, whoa, that is going to come out sideways. That's going to cause some issues, most likely some health issues, but also mind, body, and heart issues. So these emotions are meant to flow, and we need to do our best to keep them flowing. So they are there to serve you. So whenever you have an experience, emotions are involved pretty much, unless we've turned them off and we've done what's called disassociation, which some people have done that because they have reached the capacity of how much emotion they can handle because they have been holding on. They have these stuck emotions we've been talking about, and they're stuck in the mindset, the body set, and the heart set. And also people who've had traumas in their life, maybe a traumatic childhood, or something happened in adult, like anything. Could be car accidents, could be abuse, could be a PTSD, could be any number of things. But if we've had that type of experience and we have not resolved it and we haven't let it flow, then that is also part of our stuck emotions. And it's filling up our cup. It's as if we have a cup. I have a demo here. It's as if we have a cup and it's full. This is our emotion capacity cup. And now we have another experience and it tries to go in and we're like, no, we are not accepting any new emotions. I call that the flatlining, where, you've just reached your capacity and like, no matter what experience it is, you're just like, I can't handle it. Unless it's anger or fear. Those two seem to be able to override. And then you're like, okay, I have the saber-toothed tiger chasing me. We're going to have to deal with that one. And usually there's an explosion. There's a burst of energy that needs to happen in order to keep us safe. All right. So repressing, resisting, suppressing, ignoring, trying to get rid of emotions, those are all futile. That just creates problems. That's going to keep them even more stuck. So the top two stuck emotions, two of them, particularly in this COVID virus time, are fear and anger. When we're not in the COVID virus time, our top two stuck emotions are usually anger and sadness. So the top five are anger, sadness, hurt, fear, and guilt. Top five emotions. All five of those do need to be cleared pretty much with anyone. Hi, welcome Debbie. Glad you made it. We're talking about the emotions as a subset of our heart set. And so for anger can come out, sometimes we mask it under other words, like frustration. Oh, I'm just frustrated, or I'm annoyed. And rage is like the ultimate high level of anger. But, if somebody says they're frustrated or annoyed, ding, 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 that means anger. They may or may not know that. And anger is a mask for sadness. It's because we don't have the emotional capacity to handle sadness, so we will go to anger. It's a go-to coping mechanism, baby. And fear can be that way too. So sadness can be depression, anxiety, grief, things like that. But sadness is really, it's a loss. It's a loss of something or someone we've loved. So to be able to feel sadness, you have to have loved something. And it's kind of a beautiful thing when you think about it, that you are able to enjoy that person or that thing and have all those wonderful experiences and those range of emotions, happiness, joy, love, peace, harmony, as well as some of these other ones that are often thought of as negative emotions. They're really not negative. It's just part of the full spectrum of emotions. And we need to be able to have them all, because when our house is burning down, we don't need to be sitting there having a happy fest inside the house. We need to get some anger and some fear. Fear is actually going to be the first one, and get moving. We need to get out of that burning house. Whew, okay, here we go. We're switching gears now. Getting over here back to my notes. So how is your relationship with money? Please put that in the comments. How is it? The title of our talk today is Stop the Hot Cold Money Relationship to Finally Fall in Love with Money. Yeah, oh, good. Good hashtag there, Debbie. Thank you. Anger, sadness, fear, and guilt, top emotions that need to be cleared. Absolutely. And those are best cleared on the timeline. So we have reviewed the timeline technique before, so you can go back and watch you can watch one of the previous videos. I've got like 5 thoughts in my head. I'm so excited to talk to you guys today. Okay, Debbie's chiming in with atrocious. That's how her relationship is. And you want to share with us your relationship with money? So we want to stop the hot cold, because, that love-hate relationship with money, just like, how's that working for you? Probably not well. Yeah, we need to have a more steady relationship, and one that's more of a loving relationship. Not to say there aren't going to be some ups and downs. There always are in every relationship, but to really embrace money and have it as a partner and have it as a trusted friend, really, like a BFF. Money is my BFF. I used to go around saying that, and I love it. I still think about it sometimes. So, how do you treat money? Yeah. Oh, okay. Here's Debbie saying, I'm ashamed at not being successful financially. Yeah, there's the shame. I didn't actually even go into that. That's the second tier of emotions. Let me hop back over here to this chart. So the top 5 we spoke about, and then the next level to be cleared, if a person has them, not everybody has them, pretty much everybody has the top 5, is shame. There it is. Debbie's modeling that for us. Thank you, Debbie. Shame, blame, abandonment, and resentment. Whew. Those are some rivers that can run deep right there. Those need to go too. In terms of their stuckness, we need to get them going. So when you talk about money, what do you say? And when you talk about money, or when you think about money, what happens to you? Like, what happens to your mind, your body, and your heart? So let's play this little game. So we're talking about money. Check in with your body right now. Like, what's happening with your body? Is it like, ooh? Check in with your body language. Like, are you turning your head? Are you turning your body even to the video, which is representing money, to your unconscious mind? Are you clenching your fingers? Are you clenching your jaws? What's happening in your body? Yeah. Oh, Debbie, good. Debbie's got us the second tier additional negative emotions. Fantastic. You got them. So, and what's happening in your mind? Does your mind kind of like close off, or just kind of wall up and go, ooh, we've been there before. Every time we talk about money, like nothing really happens. Bad things happen. No, I don't really, you know what? I don't want to go there. Let's just stay right here. Well, I don't want to go there. And what's happening in your heart? I mean, really, you can feel into your heart. And I'm talking about your physical heart, but then also your figurative heart. Your emotional heart. your energetic heart. What's happening there? Are you closing yourself off to other relationships? That's a common thing. Are you closing yourself off and just going into isolation because it's just too hard to try to have a relationship? Okay, Debbie's saying her nose wrinkled, shoulders hunched, mild teeth clenching. Yes. Sense of self-worth sinking like a rock. There you go. Yep. You're in the right place, Debbie. I'm so glad you're here because these techniques are really going to make a difference for you and for other people who are listening too. So in order for you to really have your heart set open, flowing the way it's supposed to go, we need to do some clearing so that we can get back to being ourselves, so that we can share our gifts with the world, so that we can then have an impact, so that then we can give more. Like there's a whole bunch of things that are just waiting for us to pull that one little card out of our house of cards. We pull that out and all that other stuff goes away. So sharing your gift with the world is akin to a little story I'm going to tell you. We're having story time today. Who likes story time? I do. So imagine you have invited your friends over to a dinner at your house. And if you love to cook, you're cooking. If you don't love to cook, then somebody else is cooking for you. But so you're cooking the whole meal. Everybody enjoys the meal. Oh, they're raving about how good it is. And then you are, in fact, cooking your family recipe of chocolate chip cookies for dessert. You're famous for them. People have heard about you. They've not experienced your chocolate chip cookies, but they know. Like other people have said, you know, she makes a really good chocolate chip cookie. Or I've heard the story too. I've heard the legend of the chocolate chip cookies, but I haven't actually tasted them myself, but I believe they're good. Then, so you're cooking them and the smells are intoxicating. They're throughout the whole house. Everybody's talking. It's a big buzz. Bzzz. Oh, I can't wait to taste the cookies. Oh, how many chocolate chips does she put in? She put in a whole lot. I really like a lot of chocolate chips. Is she putting the nuts in? I don't like nuts. Maybe hope she doesn't have nuts. How's that going to melt in my mouth? Ooh, how am I going to feel? Like this is what everybody's thinking and feeling. And so you bake the chocolate chip cookies and you take them out of the oven. They are absolutely perfect. Perfect. And everybody's saying, well, when am I going to get my cookies? Like, wow, I've heard about these. Let's come on, give us those cookies. And you say, no, I just don't really feel good about the cookies. I don't feel very worthy about my cookies. They may not be perfect. Maybe I didn't make them perfect this time. They sure smell good, but you know what? They might not be perfect. Or, they're not quite exactly round the way they're supposed to. Some of them are misshapen. And, I'm afraid you're not going to like them. I'm afraid after all the hype, you're just not going to like them. So that is a perfect example of what so many people are doing when they're playing small. They have these fabulous chocolate chip cookies, whatever that is, your gifts, your talents, your meaning and reason for being, your purpose that you are meant to share in this world with other people, and you are denying them that. You're denying them. It's like you're robbing them of that experience and that help that they need because you have these things going on inside of you that you just don't really want to share your cookies. You're making your cookies, that's for sure. You're even letting people smell them, but you're not letting them have them. So how is that? Let's see a hashtag on that, Debbie and Ann. How does that resonate with you? How does that apply to you? Or does it? Let's see. We'll wait for those hashtags to come in. So, like all healthy relationships, there needs to be things like respect. I'm talking about we're talking about a relationship with money right now. Trust, communication, value, honesty. There's going to be some compromise. it's not all the yellow brick road. There are some good things. And there are some, I'm not going to call them bad, but there's some ups and downs. There's always going to be that. Money comes and money goes. Money doesn't just come and stay. It's just not like that. It's energetic and it is meant to flow. Now, we want to hold on to some of that, absolutely, to have some level of, like a safety net, and to have some level of investing in our retirement, to have some level of, saving for a vacation we want to go on, or a new car, or a new house. There's some level of that, and investing it to be able to have more money later and to be able to give it back. So in order to have all that stuff, we need a healthy relationship with money. Who wants a healthy relationship with money? Boom. I do. All right. So, how are we doing on time? Oh, we're doing great. Okay. Anne, you're going to love this one coming up. Oh, good. Debbie's got some hashtags coming in. Oh, big one. Absolutely believe that money's wonderful, will not buy happiness, but it will buy a boatload of comfort and choices. Absolutely. That is such a healthy way to have a perspective about money, which makes it easier to chase those activities than that lead to happiness. Yeah. And, well, they can lead to comfort. I'm going to just say that I don't necessarily think that the money is what makes a person happy. It's more internal things that are happening, and the money just comes. It doesn't make you happy. It doesn't make you happier, really. I mean, if we're really getting down to the bones of it, it's more of, it's a vessel and a vehicle to get to where you want to go and to do the things you want and need to do, and to be able to connect and have a community with other people. So there are plenty of poor people. Actually, there's a great Netflix documentary for everybody. It's called Happiness. And it is phenomenal. It's a whole series. This guy goes through, actually there's two of them. Can't remember the other one, but on the happiness one, he goes through the world, he travels the world, and he talks to different people, and he is asking them what happiness means to them. And more people than not in that series are dirt poor. Like, they are below any poverty line that there might be, but yet they're happy. So it is possible to be happy and not have money. That doesn't mean you're not going to have stress if you don't have money. Like, there'll be stress, but you can be happy and have the stress. Yeah. All right. So, does that mean I don't believe I deserve the benefits of having plenty of money? Well, that is a bigger question, Debbie. I can't answer that right on the spot. But we can explore that later. I think I really like the cookie metaphor. I'm salivating slightly. I love it. It would be nice to react that way to the thought of making money, asking for money, having money. Bingo! Debbie, you get 25,000 gold stars today. That is it. See, your unconscious mind got that metaphor and applied it directly. It's like, whoa, we know what this is. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Yes, and we can get you to salivate about making money, asking for money, and having money. Good. It's actually something called a, oh my God, I forgot the name. But there's a technique for that. We haven't done it in the series yet, where you cross over one pattern to another. You apply a healthy pattern to an unhealthy pattern, and then that healthy one replaces the other one. It's really pretty cool. Oh, it's called mapping across. Hello. I'm going to make a note, and we will add that to one of our other sessions before we wrap up. Money as homemade cookies. Yum. Okay, Anne's chiming in. I'm afraid to be intimate with money. Okay. Wow. Thank you for sharing that, Anne. That's pretty deep stuff there. Absolutely. And when you're afraid of intimacy in any relationship, how really good is that relationship, or how good could it ever be? When we're going around just kind of tippy-toeing, tap dancing, superficial, just like, oh yeah, 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 throwing the love word around a lot. And you might love a person or a thing, no question about it. But it could be so much deeper and richer with that intimacy factor. I love it. Okay, so we are going to do a couple of resources today. Hi, Kathy. Welcome, Kathy. We're going to do Grateful for Bill Paying. And I know Anne is just going to love this because we were talking about this the other day. Everybody's going to love it. Okay, so this is interactive now. What is your bill paying ritual? Do you pay early? Do you procrastinate? Are you late? How do you feel about your bill paying? So I used to get all worked up into a frenzy before I would pay bills. Now keep in mind, I actually had money. Well, it was both times, when I had money and when I didn't have money. This pattern came from when I didn't have money, but even then, when I was in corporate America and I was making plenty of money, I still had that same pattern that was running, and it was just absolutely ridiculous. But I would let the bills accumulate until, let's say, the end of the month, whenever, and then I would just pay them all at once because it was just too freaking painful to pay them one at a time. It was like, like nails on a chalkboard. Ugh, my God, I couldn't handle it. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to buck it up and do it all at once. So I'd get all pissed off. Like, oh my God, I was so angry. I'm like, I have to pay these bills again. They're taking money from me. They're robbing me. Like, why do they charge so much? Why do I have to do this? I don't even want to do this. And then I would get my dear friend my large bag of Cheetos. That's right. Cheetos would always help me pay my bills. And I'd be crunching, that crunch sound would be like, as I was paying the bills. And that would help me get through it. And then afterwards, pretty much I'd had some ice cream or some cake or something, because that would be my reward. Now that's a pretty shitty strategy for paying bills. Wouldn't you agree? So I ask you, what is your bill paying process and ritual? I'm sure you know. So wouldn't it be better if we could be grateful during our bill paying and for our bill paying? So how much better would it be if you were grateful for the products and the services that you received for which you are paying the bill? Yeah, it makes a huge difference. So what I changed my process to be is I still paid them once a month because I'm quite the efficiency queen. So I really just wanted to stick with efficiency. I'm just going to pay them all at once. Even if some were early, they were never late. Like I'm not a late payer. I can't stand that. I don't like that. That comes from my dad. Thank you, Dad, for that pattern. And so what I do now is I have a whole different process. Like I don't get all worked up. I don't use anger as a motivation. I don't use fear as a motivation. I don't use any of that to motivate me. I am just motivated by gratitude of what I received for those bills. Like a roof over my head. How nice is that? Wow. I really enjoyed having a roof over my head and having a nice place for all my things and being able to cook for myself and being able to see my collection of, things that I have around the house, my art, my tchotchkes, my flowers. Like I really get into it and I use all my senses when I pay. Like the visual, like I look around if it is the house. If it's not the house, if it's something else, that I paid for, like maybe my car, I can just imagine the car. I can imagine whatever it is we're talking about. So imagine the visual, the audio, the kinesthetic, which is the touch and the emotion. I can imagine taste if there's any, and smell if there's any. So now, like I don't have a car payment, but if I had a car payment, I'd be very grateful for that because I got a car. Or things like, let's bring in a business example here. So there's a lot of services where you have to pay certain amounts every month. And I found myself getting all worked up about that. I'm like, why are those people charging me every month? I want to just pay a flat fee and be done with it. I don't want them holding me hostage and making me pay every month. I don't like that. I still don't like that, by the way. But what I've done is I really examine as that monthly bill comes in. I also do another cross-check. In addition to the gratitude, I do a cross-check of, do I really need that anymore? Is that serving me? And am I really grateful for that? Or did I not use that? Did I really not need that? Or did I not use it because I was busy? If I didn't use it because I was busy and I really am going to use it in the next couple months, then I'm going to keep paying it. If not, out it goes. So that's the grateful for bill paying strategy. Anybody want to share what their bill paying strategy is, or what you'd like it to be now that you know a different way to do it? And then we're going to do one more exercise today. It's called the anxiety model. So, yeah. Oh, Debbie's saying, okay, this is a long one. Mostly pay bills a little early, more than the minimum on the credit cards and loans. Stressed if everything gets down to the wire. Yep. Very upset if I miss one. I'm the same way. Even more if I'm late because I'm short of funds. And then there's, of course, the late fees. The emotion is relieved rather than grateful. Yes. So you can change from being relieved, which is, it's not really a happy emotion. It's kind of a neutral emotion, not even an emotion, but kind of a flat line, to change that to being grateful. I try to remember, thank God that I can pay my bills, especially on Friday nights when I light a candle. Yes, absolutely. There's a good gratitude practice. Great. Thank you for sharing that, Debbie. Really appreciate that. And I'm grateful for you. So we're going to do the anxiety model. This is the timeline. So who's on the call? Who has not done the timeline? Kathy and Donna, have you guys done timeline before? I know Debbie and Ann have. Okay, so we're going to do a quick overview. So the anxiety model is about releasing anxiety. And anxiety is really, it's a fear projected into the future. It's a fear that something is going to happen later. May or may not happen. We don't know. But we tell that to our mind that it is going to happen. And so it's as good as happening. It's as good as happening now, by the way. So instead of waiting for that future shoe to drop, so to speak, the shoe's already dropped. Like, phew. In our mind it has. So that's as good as being real, because it is real. We have all those reactions as if it was real. So the anxiety model is great for releasing that anxiety. And it's one of the fastest and easiest and most beneficial techniques that we can do. Comes out of the neuro-linguistic programming world, NLP. So get comfortable, seated or lying down. Doesn't matter. If you're driving a car, you're going to abstain from this, or operating heavy equipment. So the anxiety model is, you're going to close your eyes. You're going to float up very high, like about cloud level. And you're going to then float up there in the clouds. You're going to float ahead in time to 15 minutes beyond the successful, happy completion of whatever it is you were anxious about. So get in your mind, you don't have to get any details, just get into your mind just the concept of anxiety. Doesn't matter what it is. You don't need the details. Details are too much. That's the conscious mind. We're working with the unconscious mind. Float out into the future to 15 minutes beyond the successful completion. Something that's awesome, joyous, your perfect world, whatever it is, it's fabulous. Whatever you thought was going to happen is a thing of the past, never really happened. You have a perfect conclusion that is serving you, that is in your best interest, that brings you surprise and delight. So you're here now, in the future, 15 minutes beyond the successful completion, and check in. What's happening? What do you see? What do you hear? What do you say to yourself? What do you feel? What do you smell, if there's any smells? What do you taste, if there's any tastes? What is it that's different? And it's different, and it's better and different. It's not just different, but what's great out here 15 minutes beyond the successful completion of that. Welcome, Karen. We're doing an anxiety model exercise right now. We're actually toward the end of it, so you might want to go back and catch the beginning. All right. So then you're going to float back to now and come back into now. What did you have for breakfast? And I'd love to hear how that is for you. How was that? What's different now? And what do you notice that's different? You could notice anything. And what could be different could be not just your senses that we talked about. What could be different would be, oh, I'm living on the beach in Hawaii. That's what's different now, because I don't have that anxiety. It could be my business is thriving. That could be different. That could be awesome. So please share in the comments how that was for you and any ahas that you had, any realizations. And as you're doing that, we are going to talk about, I have to get back over here. We're going to talk about when you're ready to eradicate your money blocks. You can go to mymoneyblocks.com, take the quiz. It's super short. It's 2 minutes or less. And then when you take it, it sends you an email right away and tells you where you are with your money blocks. It's fantastic. Then, if you are ready to do even more than that, if you're ready to jump in and really eradicate your money blocks, very thoroughly, I have a 7-week course called the Mind Over Money Makeover course. And that will surely change and rock your world and your business world. So you can go to mindovermoneymakeover.com if you want to explore that. And if you want to talk to me about that or talk to me about anything that's happened today, please reach out to me. Okay, Debbie's saying timeline technique. Remember the power of the timeline. Absolutely. You can do that technique anytime. Anytime. And you saw how short it was. It's usually less than 5 minutes. If you're in a funk situation, get out of the funk. If you feel like you're having a lot of resistance, and that would be internal resistance, do the anxiety model. And if you don't know what it's about, you don't need to know. That's TMI. Your unconscious mind knows. All you need to do is take out the trash, sister. Take it out. And that's what the timeline technique does for, that was actually the anxiety model, which is a specific application of the timeline technique. There's a lot of different ways to use the timeline. All right, so tomorrow is going to be day 26. Yippee. We're going to talk about heal the scar in scarcity to be truly abundant. I hope you can make it. It'll be at 4 p.m. once again, Pacific Standard Time. Thank you all for being here. Take care.